Thank you, Mr. Cowdy, for that wonderful introduction. Now, before we start with our speech, Karen and I want to briefly remind you of 3 questions that we guarantee most of you will have thought about during your time at UWC. 1, how do I persuade my teacher to let me out of class at 12:30? 2, where can I find the biggest container in my house? And 3, what is the most efficient way to go through every single food stall in the main hall? Now, if you haven't already put 2 and 2 together, we want to remind you of the extremely chaotic, but arguably most exciting day of the school year, the Food Festival.
If you've never been to the beloved annual Food Festival or have forgotten what it's like, let us briefly paint you a picture. Upon entering the main hall's front doors, you're greeted by an overwhelming aroma of distinct flavors from all over the world. At the entrance, you grab the first thing in your sight, usually the brownies and hot dogs at the USA stall, and as you maneuver your way through a swarm of people, you're welcomed by beaming parents proudly offering you the food they have prepared. By the time your container's filled up with brigadeiros, mango sticky rice, samosas, and fairy bread, you've lost all of your friends that you've entered with. You must all be wondering why we are bringing you back to the Food Festival, but don't worry, we will elaborate on this shortly.
Good afternoon, family, friends, staff, and of course, the class of 2023. My name is Vanshika Anand.
And my name is Karen Borglund, and it is an absolute honor for us to be speaking on behalf of the graduating class today.
Karen and I first started writing this speech in the NLB Cafe, and as we eagerly tried to think of ideas, we turned to some of our shared memories and experiences from our time at UWC. Whilst Karen joined the school in grade 8, I began my UWC journey in East, and then thankfully moved to Dover. Thankfully moved to Dover in grade 3.
Vanshika and I have developed a friendship throughout our time here at UWC, and we've not only witnessed our individual progress, but also the remarkable growth our entire grade has made together over the years. We found it particularly intimidating to sum up all of the unique UWC experiences in such a short amount of time. So, as we discussed what we thought were the most significant memories from the last few years, one tradition stood out to us: the Food Festival.
Now, we want to talk about the Food Festival, not particularly because of the food itself, but rather because of the significance attributed to our large plastic containers. Every single person who leaves the main hall holds on to their own unique concoction of foods in their container. Each one is personal to you. Your preferences, your likes, and sometimes even your dislikes. Now, we'd like to imagine that we each have a container in our life, and we have the agency to choose what we want to fill it up with. Whether it is a new passion or a thrilling new adventure, our container becomes a representation of who we are and what we value.
The Food Festival itself is a microcosm of the UWC journey. It exposes us to a multitude of experiences just as the environment at UWC does. Like Vanshika mentioned, all of our containers reflect the opportunities we have taken on throughout our journey, and we are extremely privileged to have been offered so many unique opportunities here at UWC. So, as our time here comes to a close, let us all consider: how did you fill up your container? Perhaps you volunteered for GCs, participated in sports teams, or dedicated time to creative outlets. These are not just external markers of success, but are experiences that have expanded our horizons beyond the rigor of academics and have given us a foundation to explore while also building genuine connections with those around us. In light of these connections, we would like to express our gratitude towards those who have unconditionally supported us throughout the years. First, to our teachers and mentors, especially those who let us out at 12:30. We would like to thank you for both the formal lessons as well as the ones which extend beyond the classroom walls. You have fostered our curiosity, nurtured our minds, and have always believed in our full potential, and for that, we will always be grateful. We would also like to express our appreciation to the admin and support staff of our community. Your tireless efforts and genuine care in ensuring the functionality and safety of our school has not once been overlooked by us. We truly thank you for all that you do. And of course, to our wonderful heads of grade, Denise and Neil. Although we may have tested your limit at times, we want to extend a thank you for your unwavering dedication to overlooking our grade for the past 4 years. You've made sure that each and every one of us are taken care of. You've helped us understand that success stems from discipline, and you have shown us what it means to be a selfless leader. Thank you for leading our grade with such distinction.
While thinking about the high school office, we must also, of course, convey our heartfelt appreciation towards Annie. Thank you for not only filling out a countless number of blue late slips, but for the true affection you've shown to each and every one of us in the grade. We are going to miss you so, so much. And to our beloved parents at the back, on behalf of the grade, we would like to say a huge thank you for not only guiding us through these unprecedented times with love, patience, and kindness, but for also challenging us to become a version of ourselves that we are truly proud of. Through these past 18 years, you have been our role models and have taught us many important lessons that we will hold so dearly to our hearts. So thank you for everything that you've done for us. And, of course, to the class of 2023. There are absolutely no words to express the love and kindness we share for one another. As we encounter the end of our time at UWC, it is natural to be thinking about the legacy that we will be leaving behind. Besides creating an awfully high standard for late EE submissions, what I think truly stands out about our grade is just how cohesive we are. Like a family, we have been there through each other's triumphs, setbacks, laughter, and tears. From school trips to house party calls to TOK days, and of course, the 200-person WhatsApp group chat, we've experienced moments that have tested and strengthened these bonds that we will cherish for life. Now, if there's one topic that I know all of us can bond over, it is feeling like our grade has consistently gotten the short end of the stick, or at least on the exam front. While the grade above us didn't have to do their IGCSE exams, we had to sit through the absolute horror that is a 45-minute essay about 1984. And as we've just finished 3 long and difficult weeks of IB exams, we found out that grade 11s get real-world example booklets. But as much as we want to complain, I'm reminded of a phrase that was consistently used in the junior school block. You get what you get, and you don't get upset. If these exams are the price we have to pay to spend prank day, leavers assembly, and this graduation ceremony together, then it is an immensely small price. Being able to spend this afternoon with people who care so deeply about us and have helped us shape our lives is an absolute privilege in itself.
So, while many of us fear that Dover campus is probably going to be sold to NUS in the upcoming years, we want to remind you that although we love our place at 1207 Dover Road very much, our time here is not defined by the location, but ultimately the people and memories which are encapsulated within. So, as we face our life after high school, keep those friends and memories close to you. Now, although we want to give you advice on how to manage this huge transition out of high school, we unfortunately can't. Both Vanshika and I are standing up here with just as little knowledge and just as much anticipation about our lives after we walk out of this hall. So, as we begin embarking on our paths that will take us beyond the boundaries of our comfort zones, many of us going off to university, enlisting in the army, or taking a gap year, in many of these environments, the routines we've grown accustomed to will be replaced with new opportunities.
So now, the time of the year has come again where you must find an even bigger container. It is time for you to choose how you want to fill it. While the location and people may be different, the realm of opportunities you will be introduced to will only get bigger. As your container begins to fill up, you will not only experience a myriad of achievements, but you will also face your fair share of obstacles. However, how we choose to react to these obstacles is what our defining quality as UWC students will be.
These last few years have brought a lot of uncertainties in our lives. We've been through things that we never imagined to be a part of our high school. But through these shared trials, we've all developed shared principles that you can, without a doubt, rely on to guide you through turbulent times in the future.
Now, as you take your container beyond these four walls, we want to remind you to be open-minded,
seek discomfort,
discover new passions,
forge new friendships,
be kind to others,
and of course, always remember to be kind to yourself.
Class of 2023, it has been such an honor to watch each and every one of you evolve through high school with such passion, dignity, and resilience.
Although our time here has come to an end, the values that this school has instilled in us and the impact we have had on each other will certainly last us a lifetime. So, with that, thank you.
Congratulations, and
we're Dover and out!